Inhabitants of Maro in the far north region of the Republic of Cameroon are expressing fears of a disastrous situation that could emanate from floods as the rainy season gets deeper. The town was heavily flooded recently. We shall be taking you there to show you the pictures of the main market in the town of Marwa, and business activities came to a halt as a result of the flooding that came after the heavy downpour. And also in this newscast, we'll take you to the village of Misaka in the southwest region of the country. It is one of the highly enclaved parts of the Republic of Cameroon. We'll bring to you the ugly picture of underdevelopment in this newscast. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television, broadcasting from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Babla Jonathan. We're beginning this newscast in Maro, in the far north region of the Republic of Cameroon, where inhabitants are living now in fear of the unknown, not concerning the security challenges that they have been facing for several years as a result of terrorist activities, but floods that could sweep across the town when the heavy rains begin dropping in that part of the country. And as the rainy season gets deeper, the town is now overflooded. Some parts of the town are now overflooded. Business activities were interrupted by floods in the main market of that part of Cameroon after a heavy downpour. Details with Smanji Kangebre.
The heavy rain witnessed in Marwa in the far north region of Cameroon has disrupted normal life for traders in the Kamis market as several shops remained closed. Road users now have to apply gymnastics in order to be able to circulate on the stretch of road leading to the market.
Nous sommes affrontés à une situation déplorable dans la ville de l'extrême nord.
It is really a deplorable situation. Our shops have been inundated. All of our goods are now soaked in water. Our roads are impassable. All shops are closed. Customers are unable to come by from us due to the floods.
En plus, les usagers ne parviennent pas à passer pour arriver jusqu'à but de nous. Demander au super-maire.
We are calling on our city mayor to get to work. Since last year, we have been suffering with the problem of floods. When it occurs, we are unable to operate. How are we going to take care of our family? We want the city mayor to come and see for himself what we are going through. We have recorded enormous material damages.
Nous avons des pertes énormes les 3 mois de saison pluvieuse.
Waste disposal remains a major challenge in Marwa. Several gutters have been congested with dirt, making it unable to take the pressure of huge water accumulated due to the heavy rains. Traders of the Kamis market of Marwa are calling on government authorities to address their plight soonest.
In the Douala 4 subdivision, municipal authorities are enhancing measures to prevent the heavy flooding that often hit that part of the country's economic capital during the rainy season. Several houses will be destroyed. The houses were constructed on drainage patterns. Details in the upcoming report.
Municipal authorities of the Douala 4 Council finally discover what causes frequent inundation in Bonaberi during rainfall.
Ceux qui sont ici ont rempli le drain. Le drain ne peut pas être devant et derrière et au milieu il n'y a pas le drain.
Descending to the various quarters in the subdivision, the mayor and his entourage point fingers at persons who violate construction norms by building on drainage patterns.
Le drain part comme ça. Ils ont donc envoyé ça sur les maisons derrière et ils ont dit que le curage est devant. We have seen how deplorable the situation is. How our citizens do not even understand the importance of even their lives. because you cannot imagine that where water passes, you come and construct your house, your upstory building, and then water jumps there and then enters into other people's houses. And now when they come out to break, people will say they are breaking.
Some of the inundation victims support the demolition of houses constructed on drainage channels.
Oui, monsieur le maire, nous sommes très contents parce que ici c'est grave. L'eau va nous tuer si on n'ouvre pas les drains.
It will greatly please us. The houses should be brought down. We have suffered a lot.
C'est trop. Oui.
Il faut que la mairie fasse tout et tout pour qu'on décortique et que ça puisse, l'eau là puisse descendre. Sans ça, il n'y aura pas de problème. Même s'il faut casser, on casse, il n'y a pas de problème.
Councillor Tufoin Joseph Aye believes action needs to be taken soonest before the situation aggravates.
It's a situation to be remedied now. Otherwise, in the future, there will be no trace that there is a drain. The city council has bought an engine which is called amphibia, which enters into water and only works. So we are hoping that they will open the gutters, the drains, so that water can drain into them and find their way into the ocean. Donc l'engin arrive, la première chose c'est ici. On rétablit, on passe de l'autre côté, on rétablit, on traverse l'autre pour parfaire.
The demolition exercise, according to the municipal authorities, will be carried out early next week to facilitate construction of the drainage channels by the Douala City Council.
Innocent as the reporting there. In the report coming up next, as I said in the headlines, we're taking you to Misaka village in Tiko subdivision, southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. Several underdevelopment challenges hitting that part of the country and making life quite difficult for the inhabitants, coupled with the unstable socio-political and security situation in the two Anglophone regions of the country. And the people are demanding that local administrative, local council and even traditional authorities should do something to take the village out of its enclaved nature. It's Manjika Ngebre.
Situated immediately after the Mongo Bridge at the entrance into Tiko subdivision, Misaka village, that is made up of 10 other communities, is in dire need of many social amenities. The village has only one primary school, which is a gift from a company operating in the village, and the children have to move to a neighboring village for secondary education. Just a private clinic do exist, with emergency cases transported to Tiko, which is about 20 to 30 minutes journey. Though having water, which is mainly borehole, the inhabitants of Misaka village are asking for more development. The development they see has been slowed because of the chieftaincy trouble in the village.
We are just there as the youth to fight for the development of the village and to maintain peace and tranquility in the village. 4 years today, our chief was presented to us as the chief of the village by the notables, say that he has been chosen by the family based on the tradition that I know of this village. The notables are the one to present him to the government, and the government represented him to us as our new chief since 2016. If I don't make a mistake, that was exactly March. But since then, after about 6 or 7 months, there have been riots. All these things are causing a lot of confusion in the village. Our main priority is for peace to maintain. The government presented the chief to us, and we know that we have but one chief. His name is Daniel Makunde Dipoko.
In 2016, after a consultative talk that took place in the presence of late Zhang Trois, then senior divisional officer of Fako division, Chief Daniel Dipoko was chosen, but till date, the administration hasn't given him the go-ahead. The other autonomous community that make up Misaka village are threatening to quit the union.
We accept him, Daniel Makunde Dipoko, as the Ikane Yambuka ya Misaka. Anything other than that, they should be aware, especially the Dipokos family and the sister family, the Bonepoto. They should know that if they threaten to go against the traditions of Mongo, Mulokula Lukanga, that there is a possibility of disintegrating the whole chiefdom. And secondly, the state, through its administration, has an obligation to uphold our traditions. In the presence of the SDO of Fako, this decision was tabled, and the procès verbal signed that day still exists. They should accept the traditional choice that has been made.
Chief Daniel Dipoko, who was the chosen one and presented to the people, even though waiting, has been present in the village to maintain peace.
When the secessionist issue started, immediately I came on board, and I made sure I manned a group of about 107 young men and women who were also jobless, because you know sometimes joblessness has pushed people into some troubles. So when I brought them together, they came up to form the vigilant group of the chiefdom. I am actually in charge of their well-being. I've also created a cassava farmers cooperative to improve the life of the economic sector in the village. I've also set up a microfinance that is also taking care of assisting people on how to manage their finances.
Misaka, which has a population of about 13,800 inhabitants, has within it several companies that could easily generate funds that will accelerate the development of the village. But for the chieftaincy trouble, the population are now calling on the government to act quickly by accepting the chief who was chosen during the consultative talks.
The publisher of the Star newspaper, His Majesty Chief Kemayang Paul, is no more. The president of the Cameroon branch of the Commonwealth Journalists Association and vice president for Africa died yesterday following a brief illness. Chief Kemayang Paul was one of the persons who were at the forefront fighting for justice, notably in the Samuel Wazizi case, the journalist of CMTV who was arrested and who died in detention. And the last time Chief Kemayang was seen with colleagues in public was during a march to the Southwest Governor's office to seek answers to what led to the death of Samuel Wazizi, the journalist of CMTV. He was one of the fervent defenders of press freedom, freedom of expression, and human rights, notably the respect of the rights of journalists in the country. He died yesterday following a brief illness, and now we're bringing to you some testimonies on who he was. We talked to his younger brother, staffs of the Star newspaper, and veteran journalist Charlie Ndicha. Take a listen.
He was a pillar of this family. He's my elder brother, direct elder brother. Nobody before him. So he was a very good man. Whenever you have problems, he helps. He helps everybody in the family. Even friends outside, he helped them. He don't discriminate with people. He was not sick. I just heard this morning that he's dead, around 5:30. Chief was not only a boss to me, but he was a personal friend. To crown it all, he is my mentor in journalism. If I have to call my mentors, I'll call him first, Chief Kemayang Paul. I'll call Mr. Charlie Ndicha. I'll call late Barrister Bono Innocent. I will call Emmanuel Tato. These are friends who groomed me and encouraged me in journalism until I had to take a course in journalism.
He was more than a brother. We grew up together. Like I was telling the mom a short while ago, we used to live in the father's house, in my father's house. We went to school in Nigeria together. We slept on one bed. We were friends till he died. We talked last week. There was no indication of any illness or what.
I actually remember Chief more than 30 years ago, especially because when I sent my first article to Chief, 1987, when he was only in the paper Day Dawn,
I would say Chief is one of the first person who ever paid me for a newspaper article. And since then, between Chief and myself, it has been more than just writing for his paper. It has been actually a kind of bonding between two friends and two brothers. I would miss him very greatly because he was someone who was absolutely generous, who was extremely an extrovert. He believed in socializing with other people, but most especially in his profession, he is one of the few who has gone through, braved the odds, and still it's like one of the last people standing in the.
During one of his last public appearances, as I said earlier, he marched to the governor's office, to the office of the governor of the Southwest region, Benau Kaliabilai, with other journalists to demand for justice, to demand for information on what happened to journalist Samuel Ajiekia Bongu, known as Samuel Wazizi, who died in detention. And this is what he told the press shortly after his meeting with the governor.
We came here to find out from His Excellency the Governor of the Southwest what has happened to Samuel Wazizi. And when we got in there, were with security operatives, the Attorney General of the region, the Secretary General, and I happens to be the one to address them first. The governor made it abundantly clear. Wazizi was arrested by the police on the 2nd of in good health. So all he knows is that Wazizi left the region in good health. As to whether he is dead or not, it is Yaoundé that can answer that question. But when I press hard, that Wazizi, we first got the news on Equinoxe television that Wazizi died some 5 to 6 months ago. And the governor maintained she lives on the issue of whether or not he knows that he's already dead. So he has pushed us to Yaoundé. He is a regional governor. He is aware that the young man was arrested. He is aware he was taken to the police. He is aware they took him to the military. He is aware he was escorted to Yaoundé. But Yaoundé has the rest of the story. And we have assured him that Cameroon is our country. We shall follow up Wazizi's case until we know where he ended. Either he is still a corpse or alive, we will follow up. This is what I think I told the governor. And I quoted the venerated human rights crusader Martin Luther King, who said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I pick pins with the authorities that a man should not have been arrested and just bundled to Yaoundé, refused from being seen by his colleagues, by his lawyers, by his family members. Order you to send this person there. So I want to appeal to you people, we must not relent in this issue. We must find out whether Wazizi is truly dead, or if he's dead, where is Wazizi's corpse? I spoke in the governor's office in tears as I saw President Barack Obama. Nobody, because you carry a gun or you carry what, don't bully. Otherwise, if Cameroon was one country, we would have called for nationwide lockdown of the press. But unfortunately, it cannot happen. It can happen in Nigeria, where they have one union, Nigeria Union of Journalists. But in Cameroon, if you do it, CRTV will not obey. Maybe Cameroon TV will not obey. Other government will not obey. We are talking about people's life. And the last thing I said was that COVID-19 is already showing us signs on how the judgment day will look like. Because there is no head of state, no servant, no rich man, no poor man. On the judgment day, everybody will answer. There will be no state council, there will be no judge, there will be no lawyer to defend anybody. It will be you and God. That's how I ended up with them. And of course, I did thank the governor for receiving us in his conference room instead of talking to us outside here.
Yes, Mr. President.
Please permit me take him live. I'm on the midday news. Okay, I think I've also told them that the difference between us and uniform men is that we don't wear uniform.
A veteran journalist, a mentor, a leader, a fervent crusader for press freedom, freedom of expression, human rights, Chief Kemayang Paul. He was speaking to the press after the meeting between journalists and the governor of the Southwest region, the Southwest region on the Samuel Wazizi case. He is no more. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today.